Okay guys, we are on the repair project. Can you see this patch right here? That is basically Felton sand or Ole sand. This is a different finish. This is a dash finish. I want to show you something because the fella here was very, very concerned with our ability to match finishes. He took me over here. He pointed to that. He says, well, you see that gable? I said, yeah, I see it. He said, you see 3 different finishes. I said, yes. He says, can you do better than that? And I said, of course I can. That's what I do for a living. That's probably a homeowner did that. That's a dash, and then they troweled it on there. They didn't match the original finish. But not everybody knows we do video work and we teach how to plaster. In fact, very few people know. This finish here, if you want to fix something, guys, you got to know what's wrong with it to begin with. This finish here, it's an old dash. How old? About 70 years old. It probably has about 20, maybe 10 coats of paint with the primer. You see, he says, I don't want all this excess sand. See this excess sand? I said, okay, man, I can do that. Over here, I mean, people do patchwork all the time. You see this little, that was where our vent is. You can see that patch. Most people don't even see patches, guys. But again, he took me right here. I'm not going to go around the whole guy's house and show all the different patches. He says, Kirk, if you can't do better than this, just don't accept the job because I want it done. I said, he says, can you do better? I don't want this excess sand. And I said, Winnemucca. He said, what the heck is that supposed to mean? I'll show you guys in a minute. Jason's going to get some mud going, and then we'll show you how to match this finish with this Killer Bees float, B-E-E-Z. Anyway, we're going to get started in a minute. All right, guys, we're going to begin, but before I want to explain something. What does excess sand and Winnemucca got to do with anything? I was telling the guy, trust me, I know what I'm doing. And I thought of this old song.
I was toting my pack along the dusty Winnemucca road.
Johnny Cash.
When along came a semi with a hind canvas covered load. If you're going to Winnemucca Mac with me, you can ride. And so I climbed into the cab and then I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road.
This is cool, guys.
Dust and sand, and I said, listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man.
I felt like telling the guy, man, I've been doing this so long. There's nothing I haven't seen. This card here is from the Union when I first started Union. That's 1980. It's 220 now. I mean, 2020, that's 40 years. Plus I was working non-union for a lot of years. So when I hear this song, he said, I've been everywhere. I told the guy, you name it, I've done it, man. Because this song reminds me of what he was talking about, excess sand. I'm going to put it in the description, guys. Anyway, what we got is, woo, we got some stiff mud. How cold is it today? Very cold. If I said how cold it was, people would call me from the UK and say, Kirk, you big wuss, we go swimming in that kind of weather. Why am I wearing glasses? If I hit a wire, the wire pokes in and then it pokes the stucco out. And how much sand have I got in my eyes? Oh man, a lot. Here's what you do, guys. First thing, do your tops first. Why? If you do your top, now that key right here, this will set. A lot of guys want to do the bottom first and then think that'll hold it. That will. Now we've put, because it's been raining, we had to use a lot of accelerators. So, how much time do I got to work with this mud? I got about 15 minutes. Can I do this patch in 15 minutes? Maybe. But now you see, it was so cold and so rainy, we didn't wet the board. In fact, we didn't wet the board, and we put excess accelerators in here. Even the tape wasn't adhering. This window tape I got right here came off about 5, 6 times, and it might come off while I'm doing this. How do you turn this guy off, Jay?
Turn the lever to the left.
Cool beans. All right, I'm going to be finished showing you guys what we're doing. And again, you see how stiff this mud is now. 10 minutes ago, it was water. It was soup. So we had to put a lot more accelerators in it in order for it to harden in this winter weather. I mean, we had rain for the last few days, and actually we got a pleasant day today. I'll show you why that the floats work on something like this well. I actually have a couple other tools there, but I was going to explain those also because people always ask me, hey Kirk, well, what do you think, man? Should I use this color float, that color float? I'll explain them in a minute. Let me use up the rest of this mud here. You see how that, push it in there. Push this into the key. Now, depending on where you're located, some inspectors want you to caulk that key. Now, see this got caulking around that window. I've been in places where the guys said, Kirk, I want to see you caulk this area too. And I say, yeah, I know why, because the paper is shot and you want to make sure it doesn't leak. But if I caulk that key, I'm going to have excess cracking, perimeter cracking. And that's why I put that blue stuff there. That's just a bonding agent to eliminate any excess cracking. That's how you can tell it's been raining, guys. We got a lot of rocks in the stucco because no matter how well you cover 20 bags on a truck, if it rains straight for 4 days, you're going to get some moisture. And moisture in stucco, it doesn't wait for any man. This right here, it definitely ain't waiting for me. It's setting. But I like that because we were considering, wow, it's so cold, it's not going to set. Now that's setting, guys. All right. Love these ladders too. A dual ladder, go up both sides. And because I filled that top first, like right here, in about an hour, well, half hour, this could be ready to float. In a half hour, if I didn't fill this top, when I start to float it, this would sink right here. We'd have a hairline crack there that once it loosens up, it's hard to fix it. I'm just using this trowel now as a rod or a derby or a straight edge. In the UK, they call them straight edges. It's like a derby. It just makes sure that your grounds are filled out. Because you want to be true and plumb. We don't want to be like that guy there, or the homeowner will yell at me. All right, so that's that. Now this excess mud here. Now, these have a tendency to want to drop out too. And if you notice, we have this peeling stick here. That peeling stick does not absorb. This black paper, 2 layers, it absorbs the moisture out of here. This doesn't absorb, so I'm glad I got some stiff mud here because that won't absorb. So what'll happen is I'll plaster the whole thing and this will want to keep dropping. No problemo, we got it. Blam! Okay. I'm gonna finish the surround here. Then Jay's gonna mix me some more mud. But when I said earlier, how long have I been doing this? This house here, the guy says, well, it's got some weird backing. And I said, weird backing? What you mean? He says, it's got wood panel back there. I said, that wood paneling, it's a wood lath that was created in 1890, and they stopped using it about 1910. We still see houses with it in 1920 because all of the excess lath, they're not just going to throw away, they're going to finish using it. So he said, well, I got wood lath back here. So no problem. I lath this, so I accommodated for that wood lath. That again was in 1910. They stopped using that good wood lath. About 1950, they started using wire. It was called tie wire. What they would do is between the studs, they'd put a wire, wrap it around every 6 inches, and that's how they would not lose so much stucco between the studs. Then, of course, we got paperback wire. We got all kinds of stuff. In fact, when I first started plastering, there was no shear wall, guys. It was studs. It was all studs. So we didn't have the luxury of working with solid substrates like plywood. Now everybody has plywood, so that was cool when that came out. We were like, yeah, we love it. You don't waste so much stucco in the field. The field is, you got a stud here, you got a stud here. This right here, they put the tie wire and pull it, lime wire, and that wouldn't waste so much stucco. Okay, almost got just about the right amount for this. All right, beautiful. I was telling Jay, and guys too, people watch what we do, they go, oh crap, I'm going to do that. I can make it look easy, guys, because Jason, who's on the camera right now, mixes for me. I can't make it look easy if I have to mix my own mud. No way can I make it look easy if I have to mix my own mud. So any of you guys call and say, wow, Kirk, you make it look easy? It's a two-man job. This is like playing football or baseball or basketball. This is a team sport. No one guy does all this by himself. Anyway, that's all the mud I need, and since we have enough mud to finish that door over here, I'm going to go ahead and finish that because this mud is getting hard and it's not waiting for me. Okay, guys, real quick. For bricks, it's for pushing in the grout for bricks. Can you use it for stucco? Sure, you can. But you're not going to bring much aggregate out. Green float, same as the yellow. They're both high-quality ones. That Killer Bee one, it'll be in the description. Trowels, hog and trowel, main thing for plastering. Floats, plastic float. These are used in the UK a lot. Polyurethane float, plastic, polyurethane. What these do is they compress the wall. You compress it, so you're less likely to get cracks. Dash brush. You make some soupy mud. You put this in, and you fling it. Remember the old saying, dash of salt in the 1900s? Oh, just a dash of salt. Well, dash the mud on. That's what gives you this. If I were to dash this, I'm not good enough to get this finished. I can't do it. I can get close, but this guy got close. Close isn't going to do it. So now what we do is we're going to take a float, sponge float, guys. I know the UK, them boys keep calling me. By the way, the UK is some of the better plasterers there because they did lime plastering 10,000 years ago. Those guys are the best. Love it when those guys call me and say, hey, Kirk, you're pretty good at what you do. This float here, I'll start it off by I'll kind of bend the edges. I don't want it straight. I want it kind of bent, just a hair. Okay, now you got to have your wall true and plumb. You don't want it sticking out a ½ inch. You want it true and plumb. That's why I use my big Congo trowel, because I can use it as a derby or a rod, so to speak. Here's how we do this, guys. We're going to take this sponge float. If I take the plastic float or the polyurethane float, it's just going to flatten it. It's not going to bring the aggregate out. This is aggregate, sand, same stuff. Now, this patch right here, this patch was done with Felton or Ole sand. I went to the material yard and I got some heavier sand. I said, just throw a ton on what I already got, because the sand that I normally buy from Westside is Ole or Felton. It's professional plaster sand, but it won't match this. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, I'm going to bring out the aggregate. And now I'm using the whole float. Sometimes I'll use just a little bit. And I kind of go in circles. When it comes to the joint, you need a lot of water, guys. Now this whole patch is going to take me 10 minutes, guys. If you got something better to do, you better do it, because I tend to ramble on just to occupy time. Now you see that joint? That's called feathering in the plaster. You feather it into the existing. That's what determines how well your patch is going to match. If you can't feather in, you're in trouble, guys. Now this is full of stucco. If I keep going, I'm going to drag the stucco there. So I got to take the stucco out. Now I'm taking the stucco out. Now what I'm doing, guys, is I'm going half here, flipping it, half here, getting that sand out. If I hit it here, then I bend this float the wrong way. I don't want it that way, otherwise it'll drag the stucco. So now I'm doing the joint. Feathering in the joint, it takes practice, but that's what we're showing you for. Give you some practice. You can learn this in about, a few hours maybe. There are some finishes that doesn't matter how long you try. Those are very difficult. And by the way, that song, I've Been Everywhere, Man, I want to say to my buddy Larry and Carol Elphick, love you guys, haven't seen you in years. They're truckers, and they always tell me, man, I've been everywhere. They're 15-year truckers. Now here, you see, notice I'm going upward, guys. What happens if I take it down? That crack is going to come out. So the first thing I do is I'm pulling it upwards. Upward. Over here, I'm pushing it into the existing. Now I'm going in circles again. And if I want this to be as smooth as that patch over there, I can do that. If I want it to be rough as his, I can do that, all with this float. Just takes practice, guys. The more water, the heavier the finish, or the more aggregate that will come out. Right now I'm just, better take these off. I see what I'm doing. All right. Again, same thing. I'm taking out and creating a heavier sand look. While I'm doing it, what I generally do is I'll clean the tape with the both sides here, and then I'll bring out this aggregate. Now, you see that's been painted so many times that you got to look at what you're working with. The sand I'm using here is it's probably a 1620. What does 1620 sand mean? That's a heavier sand. 2030 is a medium sand, and 3030 is a finished sand like Santa Barbara. It's like talcum powder. So you got to know your sands. And by the way, guys, to plaster, and how long does it take to learn to plaster? Some guys can get it in 5 years. Some guys can get it less. Some guys never get it because they can't stand doing it. They hate it. Me? I think, are you kidding me? I love doing this stuff. They're paying me to do it? What a country. I can do this all day long. Now, again, I'm going to clean the red tape, because when I pull that, I don't want to pull the rest of the work off. Now, so I got a clean float. All it has is the stucco from the tape. Now I'm going upward here. I want to pull that upward. Don't do this, guys. You see that crack? Now I got to push that back in. I'm just doing that to tell you guys, don't do that. You want to always go upward. Pull it into the existing. How dry is this? Kirk can do it. Oh yeah, I can still do it with that. I'm just trying to show you guys That's perfect mud. You let it get too stiff, you can't bring the sand out with this. It'll be like trying to bring the sand out with the concrete. If it sets, it's set. And we're doing a one coat stucco. That means you can't overmix it. It means it's stronger than crap too. I mean, regular stucco, 1600 psi. That's the strength. The stucco we're using, close to 5,000 psi. So if I get carried away and start messing around and doing other goofy stuff like cleaning the truck, and I come back to try to do this, I won't be able to touch it. I won't be able to hammer it. So if you start something, you got to finish it, depending on the material. And there's the whole thing, guys. Plastering, yeah, I hear guys, they say, man, I've been plastering 10 years. I'm better than you. And it's like, guys, who wants to be the best? All that means is you're going to work your arse off more. Material knowledge, that's the thing. Material knowledge. How do you get material knowledge? I guarantee your work. When I worked for other people 30, 40 years ago, I didn't have to guarantee that. I just had to do the best I could. Here, if it fails for whatever reason, the finish don't match, I have to come back on my own time, my own dime, and fix it. So that's how you really learn materials. If you work for somebody else, you got an idea about materials, but until you are responsible for everything you do, you don't really have a great understanding of what the heck you're doing. Again, I'm bringing this aggregate out, and I'm looking at this painted finish. I don't want to tell these guys, dude, like he says, I already painted this like 10 times. The guy who did that told me to keep painting it. And I said, well, I can look at that and see no matter how much paint you put on it, it's not going to match. So what I'm trying to do, and guys, nobody is perfect at this stuff. There are jobs I do that ain't perfect, but we do the best we can with what we have to work with. Otherwise, we're back on our own time. But anyway, when you have to guarantee all your work, that's when you know, and you've been doing it for 30 years, that's when you know about materials. I know when this is going to set. I can go right now, eat a sandwich, and relax. Go to Subway, kick back. I can go to the pub, have a beer. I got that much time. Even though this has accelerators in it, I know exactly how much time I got. I can look at it, plus I spread it. So that gives you the knowledge of how much time do you got to finish that. That's how you know. Time in. Time in. Now you see, I'm going across so that this lip under here is not, when you look at it, it's not all jagged and sideways, just like here. I take it here, so we don't want a jagged lip. So here, I'm going across. Now I'm blending down into the joint. A key thing too, guys, since I'm on the topic of stucco, always clean this out with dust and dirt. On the bottom one, the top you don't need to because gravity pulls that down. And generally, we don't have a radio on, but I wanted to play that song because I wanted to tell the guy who hired me, dude, I know how to do this. Again, not everybody knows we got like 900 videos about how to do this, and I'd feel stupid trying to tell somebody, hey, man, look, man, I know how to do that. I do video work to teach. Then I feel kind of awkward saying that, so I just said, don't worry, man, I can fix it. The guy says, well, if it doesn't match, do I have to pay you? I said, easy, big guns. If it doesn't match, I'll come back and redo it. Let's not get carried away. See, I'm getting all the aggregate out. Now, if I don't get it out, it's gonna drag this right here. And I'm hustling because on that wall over there, I got about a half hour, and I got patches around the corner. So I got about a half hour over there, and plus my patchwork. Again, the material knowledge is everything, guys. And for guys who say, hey, Kirk, how do we know a match it's not painted? Well, guys, you don't, because they don't paint this until 28 days. And if I were to come back every 28 days and show every job, well, that's just not feasible. Anyway, there it is, guys. I'm going to take my, and anytime you pull this, turn your face so you will get an eyeball full of stucco. You just pull it off and blam, there it is. Anyway, I'm going to clean up some of the little wood slobbers. That's where the tape doesn't adhere because it rained all night. It's cold, guys. Anyhow, my name is Kirk. Jason on the camera. Without Jason, I can't do the video work, and I can't do very much more. Anyway, thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
By the way, folks, my dad and I are now members of Amazon Affiliates, so if you're looking to buy any of the plastering or construction tools you've seen in our videos and you want to support us in the process, you can check the links below our video, or you can go to our website and get them there. If you have any other questions for tools we don't have linked, email us direct and we'll respond to you then.
Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.